And I came in here and I said, okay, I'm going to give this a try. But if you remember, we talked about a fair amount of income. We're looking at $300 to $16,000 to get educated. I didn't have that money. I mean, can you imagine when I came home from that second follow-up meeting after I couldn't sleep that night and said, oh, by the way, honey, I quit my job today. I maxed out both your credit cards and took a loan out against your car to do this, right? She wasn't very happy with me, but she loves us today because it set us financially free. And what Jim told me is that you have to be willing to pay it forward. See, Jim could just go out and say, okay, I'll give it to you for free. I could tell you, hey, what if I paid for you to do this? But it's not going to mean anything to you unless you put your money, what I call where your mouth is, and invest in yourself. See, my father is an entrepreneur, and when he opened up his 4th dry cleaning store, he actually had to go out there and put his own money down. Now, in business, it's not all cupcakes and ding-dongs. You're going to have good days and bad days. You're going to have days that maybe you're frustrated. But you know what? If you do the work, things will turn. And because my father put money down on that business, the price of entry was high enough that the price of exit would hurt. So I looked at that and I thought, you know what? If I just go out and do one real estate deal, this whole process will be worth it. So I went out and took 2 credit cards and a loan against my wife's car to do this. I was grounded for a little bit. You know, like I said, my wife wasn't very happy with me. I actually slept on the couch for 3 nights, and she thinks I got off easy. But now we're making great income for ourselves. And Jim said, listen, come in here and buy your education. Take this seriously, and if I mentor you through our systems, you have to be willing to go out there and help other people see the vision, and I was willing to take that on, and now I'm in a completely different world today. And so let me tell you guys something. Millionaires are millionaires because they find 2 or 3 ways to make money doing what they're already doing. Now, if I'm not mistaken, all of you want to be an investor, right? Okay, I hope so. Otherwise, you're in the wrong room. But this is an opportunity through our education to be that investor. But there also is an opportunity for you to make money helping other people get involved in the community. Now, you look at all the other education companies out there. If you introduce your family or friends, or you started running advertising and introducing them to that company, who makes more money? That company does. Here, you do. See, Jim had a vision that New Varish could be an opportunity for people to create wealth, create money that they could use in real estate. See, my father is an investor. But he had a cash flow producing business first that produced the cash so that he could afford to do investing. See, I don't think that any of you have the right to own real estate unless you have a way to pay for it. Because you're going to have times when maybe rehabs take longer. Maybe a project doesn't sell as fast as you were hoping. And you got to have that other business that will produce the cash to take you through the slow times in real estate. Because you get big payoffs at times in real estate, but maybe there's a couple months where you don't get paid. And with the income opportunity in this business, it'll give you the opportunity to go out there and do so many things. And what happens with a lot of people is they start off and say, man, if I could just get my education for free, that way it would be worth it. You know, I can get out here, learn how to do this. And let me ask you guys, is there any person in this audience today that wouldn't do this if it was free? Okay, so all of you want to invest and get involved in this community. Obviously, money is an issue, but what we have an opportunity for you is to recoup that cost by telling the community about our products and services, and you can utilize that money to either repay yourself for your cost or turn it into a very, very lucrative business for yourself. Now, if you look at this, like I told you, millionaires are millionaires because they find a couple ways to do this. Let me ask you guys, if you were an investor because of our community, and you went out and, say, purchased 5 homes, and they all had great equities, great cash flows, what are all your friends, family, and neighbors going to say to you? How'd you do it? Yeah, how'd you do it? Now, there's this little thing I like to do, and it's when I pull a business card and say, it's funny you ask, and I hand them a card, and then I can tell them about this community. See, there are so many opportunities for you to meet people. See, I was scared to death. I come from dry cleaning. See, I almost made the mistake the first night of saying, do you know what? I know these guys can do it, but I'm a dry cleaner. I can't do this. And I'm going to prove to you right now why anyone in this audience today can go out and accomplish anything I have or more if you have a work ethic and a desire to succeed. How many of you guys have actually had a dress cleaned, a pair of pants pressed, or a shirt cleaned from your local dry cleaner? So how many of you, because of that dry cleaner, went in this last week and gave them a big hug and said, thank you did a great job? No. How many of you brought them a Christmas gift and just said, you know, thank you. Thank you so much for cleaning my clothes? No, you didn't do that either, did you? But you did go in and yell at them because they broke your buttons, lost your shirts, or maybe they couldn't get a stain out that you put on there in the first place, right? So I was conditioned my whole life to be scared of people and not think that I could do things. See, the idea of even talking to someone about a piece of real estate or even talking to someone about a business to produce cash scared the daylights out of me. But this system, this community, bowed me up and gave me confidence and helped me get through those times, and it helped me make more and more money. So what happens here is we have an opportunity for you to start a business that will simply cost $75. $75 is the only legal requirement for you to get involved in this community. There is no product purchase necessary. But I will tell you, you should own the products. Number one, for the educational value, and number two, you can't sell you can't sell an empty wagon unless you're selling wagons, right? People are going to want to know, well, how are you doing in your investing? Well, I just want to sell it to you. I'm not investing isn't a good answer. See, if you want to have a business producing cash, people do what you do, not what you say. So if you come in here and you're a student, you're getting educated, you're following the processes, you're going to have people from all over the place coming and wanting to participate. I can show you how to run different advertising campaigns to have people calling you. But what will happen is if you own those properties, you're going to have people knocking on your door saying, hey, I know you're an investor, can you help me? My brother's going into foreclosure. Or maybe your neighbor, like my neighbor, who came across the street and said, what do you do for a living? Because they saw me out there playing with my kids in the middle of the day, jumping on the tramp, riding bikes, having a lot of family time. And it kind of irritated them because I'm the youngest person in my neighborhood. A lot of very successful people in my neighborhood, and they'd come over and say, what do you do for a living? Remember what I showed you? It's funny you ask. And you hand them a business card and you introduce them to this community, and it gives them the opportunity to come in here and participate. See, I was scared like everyone else was. I didn't know if I could purchase a property. I didn't know if I could run a business and be successful here. But all I did is follow their systems, and the rest has been history. And again, it starts with $75. Now, here's how a normal business works. Normally, you have a company. That company hires you as a salesperson. Then they teach you how to go find the customers. When that customer buys the product or service, generally the check goes to the company ships the product out to the customer, and basically you're looking at a 2 to